Police responded to a shooting on People's Street. A man found shot in the street later died at the hospital.
Oh, somebody is laying out. Somebody, I don't know if he barely.
Let me connect you down the line.
Somebody just threw him out of the car.
You're charged with 4 felonies. Mr. Finley, Mr. Banks, are you waiving sounding of the charges, or would you like me to read the charges?
He's still trying to fight for his life.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency?
Baby, can y'all please get an ambulance here? This man is dying.
That there is a series of 3 warrants to entertain, one ending in 1-4 that is felony murder.
He's shot in the head. He just took his last breath, man.
Here is the triggering mechanism, obviously, is the aggravated assaults on their face. 1-3 does not.
What street are you on, ma'am? Can you give him your location, please, for the ambulance to give the guy some help?
Anyway, allege that Mr. Bennett is the perpetrator of aggravated assault, or for that matter, the party to the crime of aggravated assault.
Man, this man just took his last breath, man.
Man, we have help on the way already. Tell me exactly what happened.
And therefore making 1-4 felony murder as to that allegation impossible. The same thing with 1-5. His proximity in a vehicle to someone with a gun is not what establishes aggravated assault.
We don't know. Me and my sister, we were just walking down the street, and somebody just rolled down the street with a man hanging out of the car. They just pushed him out the truck and left him for dead.
Detailed in the face of the warrant is his roles, specifically in the conduct that gave rise to the aggravated assault, and then subsequently
He was shot in the head.
Yes, he is shot in the head. They threw him out the car. He just died. He just took his last breath.
the felony murder, which will include him allowing the occupants of his vehicle, him being the driver of the subject vehicle, to actually get out of the vehicle, fire multiple rounds, and then drive off.
Can you tell me what kind of vehicle he was stolen from, please?
White.
A white car, truck, or SUV?
SUV.
Occupants. So based on what the court has before it in the affidavits for all the warrants, there's more than enough to continue on and to find probable cause at this juncture.
Listen, just stay on the phone. Can you tell me if you saw any of the people that were driving the car, whether they adults or kids?
They were driving real fast. We seen his.
All right.
When your next court date convened, you will receive notice of your next court date from the jail. Is there anything further on this case from the state? No, Your Honor. Is there anything further on this case from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Facing a judge. A Fulton County judge denied bond for an Atlanta rapper charged with murder. Yfn Lucci, whose real name is Rashawn Bennett, is charged in the death of James Adams. You can hear the 911 calls as neighbors plead for help.
Baby, can y'all please get an ambulance here? This man is dying. He just took his last breath, man.
The shooting happened about a month ago on People's Street. He's one of 3 suspects charged in the shooting.
Yo, what's up, people? We is back. Another day on Keep It G News. And they be talking about Yfn Lucci, man. We gotta discuss Lucci because a lot has been going on in his case in the last maybe 3 days. You know, even though I've been silence on this case for the last 2 years, but they gotta do something because we have a law in the United States called Hicks Law, and it's supposed to guarantee you a speedy trial. Now, most court cases, especially murder cases, exceed the 6-month grace period that they have to get you on the court. But that's what they say. So you still have some type of obligation as the state to get this man in the trial someday. And from what I understand, he don't even have a trial date scheduled. But in this video, we're going to talk about that plea. Did Lucci do the right thing? Because news came out that they offered him 20 years. He had to do 17, but he turned it down. Boosie spoke on it. We're going to hear from Boosie. Did Boosie know what he's talking about, first and foremost? Then, we're going to go into the indictment of Yfn Lucci, man. Because what is Yfn Lucci exactly charged with? What are they trying to accuse him for? So we're going to do all that, and we're going to do it in that order. So first, we're going to hear from Boosie.
That's self-defense. I'm getting shot. Nigga, the whole car getting shot up. What the fuck you supposed to do? What the fuck you supposed to do? That's all you could come with to give me a fucking RICO? Not guilty, man. Come on, bro. I fuck with Lucci, bro. This dude ain't running no fucking RICO, nigga. And I'ma say that. That nigga go home every night, man. To his family, man. That man go home every night. Man, Dylan no doing none of that shit, bro. The nigga go home every night, man. It's a bad RICO, dog. That nigga ain't, bruh. I was fucking with Lou, dog. Like, I was fucking with Lou. Nigga ain't running no criminal organization, dog. That nigga go home, dog. I swear to God, bro. Get up and go get that money and go on the road. And go do shows and come back. That nigga ain't running no... Witnesses say they seen him push him out. A witness say they saw him push him out. How can a witness see from the outside if you get pushed out from the inside? Think about it. Reasonable doubt, I'm fighting it. That nigga could have opened the door his damn self. Ain't no what telling when you get shot. Rest in peace to Lucci boy, man. But they got that man fucked up. A witness saw. What the fuck she saw? If she outside. Sound like a paid witness to me. That's what it sound like. Lucci on a straight bullshit RICO case. But that's how them people play, man. Now, I ain't talked to Lucci yet. I'm waiting to talk to him. I ain't talked to Lucci yet. I mean, he a man, he make his own decision, but I wouldn't take that shit. I wouldn't take that shit.
And God bless Boosie heart, man. One thing about Boosie, his heart is always in the right place, but he don't always got all the details. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that killed me with Boosie when he speak on certain topics. It's like, all right, he always half right, but in order to know what's going on and be accurate with your statements, you have to have all the details. And one of the most important details that Boosie left out in his, I guess, rant was why Yfn Lucci and them just didn't get shot at. They was actually in a shootout. They actually provoked the incident. That's what the state is alleging. You know, they went to his rival neighborhood, shot at these people. The people shot back, and Yfn Lucci, man, ended up killed. So it's not just as simple as Boosie making it out to be that, you know, we was getting shot at and my man got killed. How, you know, this self-defense. Nah, it's not what it is. So shout out to Boosie. I just wish Boosie get more of the facts straight before he decided to speak on these things. Now, what Yfn Lucci is charged with?
It's a massive gang indictment in Fulton County charged a dozen people with a racketeering conspiracy, including a famous musical artist, Yfn Lucci.
Now, the indictment says that Lucci's an associate of the Bloods gang, and Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie had exclusive access to major players in the case.
Long nights, early morning.
There's been a huge spike in violent crime.
Now I'm getting my shine.
The first thing we had to do was recognize that there is an absolute gang problem in this county, and that we were going to take a strong stance against that.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis says her team used a YouTube music video entitled Shine On, quote, which includes lyrics promoting criminal gang activity in a massive RICO or racketeering indictment to shine a light on the alleged gang associations of two of the performers in the video, music megastar Yfn Lucci, real name Rayshawn Bennett, and Justin Ushry, a.k.a. Bloody J, two of a dozen defendants in the case, which involves a variety of crimes.
You took two of your top homicide people and gang expert and put them on this case?
Yes, sir.
For how long?
We've been working this case for approximately 6 months.
Of the national gang, criminal street gang Bloods, there's at least 4 subsets involved in this particular indictment and investigation.
Is Yfn Lucci a member or an associate of any criminal street gang?
Now, he's not a gang member. What he is an internationally recognized musical artist that is a triple platinum winner.
Lucci's lawyer, Drew Findling, added,
his First Amendment right to musically express himself is no different than the famous rock song, I Shot the Sheriff. It's not criminal activity.
Justin Ushry said by phone he's not involved in a gang or committing crimes. Quote, I make music. The DA's office says felony murder allegations against Yfn Lucci and some others in the RICO case involve a homicide for which Lucci's already been released on bond, in which a passenger in a car he was driving during a drive-by shooting was killed by return fire.
We believe that it is part of a bigger picture.
He's not guilty of all charges.
DA Willis says even if it didn't include a music headliner or two, the RICO case would be headline-worthy for another reason.
The reason that it is so important that the GBI and the sheriff and the Atlanta Police Department is here is because we hope the community is getting that we have repaired all broken relationships and we are working together to deal with these issues.
Some people don't understand the depth in which the gangs have infiltrated, for lack of better words, our communities. And it's time for them to go. The violent crime as it relates to gang is significant.
Kara Convery, who told us she's the DA's lead gang prosecutor, says investigators also used social media posts. We pulled several off Instagram that seemed to match descriptions in the indictment to help build their gang case.
Who you're tied to and what you're willing to do to maintain that position of power.
Now, the DA's office says most of the defendants were already in the Fulton County Jail on other charges. DA Willis says she brought in 2 of Georgia's top experts in this kind of case, Mike Carlson and John Floyd, who helped with this indictment and have others in the pipeline along with her gang unit. Now, while the Shine On mention is noteworthy, it appears it's only in one of the 92 overt acts in the indictment, and Ushry's only charged in the RICO conspiracy count, unlike other defendants. Live at the Fulton County Jail, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
So Yfn Lucci's most serious charge is this murder of his friend, what Boosie was kind of alluding to in the beginning, where his friend got killed in this shootout. Now, I told y'all how I feel about that. I was actually locked up with a guy that fell victim to the same type of charge. I ain't going to get back into it because I talked about it a few times already. He caught 30 years for it, but was given this plea. Yfn Lucci was given this plea deal. 20 years. Should he have took it? Now, I'm going to tell y'all how I always look at this. For one, first and foremost, I hope Lucci is not listening to jailhouse lawyers, because it's a lot of them. It's a lot of jailhouse lawyers. Even me, when I was locked up, because I was one of the people that was knowledgeable about cases, because I read up, I read books. And people would come to me like, yo, look, this is what they got. Yo, what should I do? And I'd be like, look, this is what I would do. I would never tell another person what to do, because at the end of the day, they got to do the time. And they're not in same situations where people have listened to guys in the jail, and then when they come back after they got smashed by the judge, now everybody's silent. Nobody got nothing to say. You feel me? So I don't want that on my conscience. So I made sure I stayed clear of that when I was arrested. I'm just saying I hope Lucci is not listening to them guys, because he got to make his own decision. And his decision need to be based on, is the case strong? Is the case strong? Because I believe it's only 2 times when you really take them to trial. If you can't beat the case, and if the case is just super weak and they don't got nothing. Because if it's a rock solid case, you take it to trial. And the reason you take it to trial is because you can get appeal. You take it to trial with hopes that somewhere along the line, they messed up in presenting their case. You know, they did something illegal or they didn't present all the evidence to the defense. Then you can come back on an appeal and get the case thrown out. So that's why people try cases where they really shouldn't try them, you know. That's the benefit of it. Because once you plead guilty, you restrict your liability to appeal. After you plead guilty, the only thing you can do is get a sentence modification. You understand what I'm saying? So it's good to fight it because you have more options. But like I say, at least you do the right thing. Now, I was going to get on him. I'm like, yo, why would he not take that deal? You know, because if you don't take the deal, they're going to give you the max on the case. And we all know the max on the murder is life in prison. And I don't think Lucci want to do life. But then I got to think about it in my case. Like, yo, they offered me 20 years. I turned it down too. So how I'm going to be hard on Lucci? You understand? So this is just the first deal. Normally, in any type of negotiation, you throw the first deal away. You know, I don't want that. Come back with something better. My fear for Lucci is they're not going to come back with anything better because I think the state thinks that they have a rock solid case and they can prove it against Lucci. So if that's the case, do you really want to roll the dice? You understand? Do you really want to roll the dice in that instance if they got a rock solid case? And I'm sure they're going to try to, you know, make sure they do everything right because they don't want this to come back and blow up in their face on the appeal. But then I heard from Lucci's lawyer. And Lucci's lawyer basically called the deal absurd, and the reason that he said it made perfect sense to me. He brought up the fact that it's other cases that the state is worrying about. Then it got me thinking like, okay, now I understand why he turned it down. He turned it down because, and I did a video on this when I talked about the YSL case is never going to start. They turned the deal down because they don't believe that the state of Georgia even have the resources to try this case. And in that instance, I understand that completely because I don't think they do either. If they can't try YSL, they ain't going to be able to try Yfn either. So eventually they're going to have to either come back with a better deal or just drop the case altogether. But we'll see how it pan out. At the end of the day, Lucci got to do his best with him. I hope he blocked all outside sources out and this decision was just between him and his lawyer. But mainly on him because your lawyer will throw you sometimes. I don't care fuck how much you pay him. They'll throw you. So I just hope that he thought this out well before he decided to turn it down because one of the worst things you can do is turn the deal down and then go to court and get smashed. I done seen that happen on numerous occasions. I got homeboys that it happened to. So we'll see how it all play out. That's my take on this situation. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Support Keeper G News. And I'm out.
Need some praying people feel like I'm stuck. It's seeping deep, but don't be smoking shit that you ain't roll up. I'm trying to teach you. Niggas singing up their nose on the low and think I don't know it. Mama lying for my bro cause he wrong and think I don't know it. If it was get it poppin' time on the grind and I jailed on you, God please take my breath from my body, I fell bro. I've been in every war, holding every shield, swinging every sword. I stood and never ran. Why would you lie and try to steal my glory? Put that on my stripes. I ain't never back down or folded up in my life. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like. If I'm lying, God take my sight. Never let a bro starve in my life. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like this. I've been thugging like.